All right. What's going on, everybody? Let me switch my camera mode. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the stream. Probably going to wait just a couple minutes here, get some other people in. And I want to take a look at a couple things today. Today's kind of I was on the wrong scene for that. Sorry about that. Anyway, so earlier today I had to take my mother-in-law to the airport and all that good stuff. And yeah, she's going back down to Bolivia to take care of her mom for the next 6 months. So I had to deal with that today, and I haven't really looked at the charts too much. So we're going to go ahead, get into it right now. Let me switch over real quick. Can you guys still not hear me? Type Y in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, cool. All right, let's switch over to the chart. I want to make sure that was good before I start, doing stuff. So let's see. Switch. All right, cool. So what we got going on here, this is liquidation charts. You guys know that I love looking at these, okay? So there was a crap ton of liquidity below us, really big orders while this drop happened. And we did sweep a good amount of it, but there is just a massive amount of liquidity below us. This is mostly people that were entering long positions, on this drop that we had. Now, personally, let me get this mic a little further away from me. Personally, I would love to see this come down more to, sweep all of this down to 35. We're not sure if we're going to get it, but I can promise you that if we lose support and there isn't a lot of bullish volume, that's probably a high possibility of that happening. So we'll come back to this and look at that in just a moment. Let's switch over to the weekly chart, and we'll start there on Bitcoin first. I'm going to take a look at the higher time frames on Bitcoin and Ethereum, get a better idea for stuff, and then we'll kind of work our way down. As you guys know, that's pretty much how I roll. So a couple things going on here with the weekly chart, okay? Obviously, we've had massive amounts of bearish volume coming into the market. Initially, we had our MACD, my KMAC indicator, crossed way back here, basically on my birthday, and we've been coming down really far. The MACD is showing no signs of slowing down, going into bearish territory here. So that's a little frightening for me, especially on high time frames. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that very closely. And I think the good thing here, though, is that a lot of our other indicators, including Ichimoku Cloud and RSI, are starting to kind of level off here. But in general, this does not look good once we broke down from this channel that we had. Ichimoku Cloud, not really too much to tell. We got a perfect tap of our Kijinsen and our 50 EMA, and everything is, for the most part, is pretty well below us. The next stop would be 100 at about 24K. So let's head down to a 4-hour chart here and see what we got going on. Now, let me turn Ichimoku off. Now, the first thing I want to look at is just this structure, okay? So coming back from here, we had our top. It formed a massive ascending wedge, and that did end up breaking down. We never really got back above 60K. There was massive resistance up here, and we further broke down on low volume. Okay, as you can see here, I was talking about this yesterday in an analysis video that I did. In general, this volume that we had up here after this drop, the volume was really low, and I knew that we weren't going to be getting that push up here. So I shorted part of this and then tried to long the dip. Obviously got stopped out on that when we had the second massive drop here. And this is pretty much what we have going on now. So I haven't seen too many other people drawing a channel here. Initially, this was a head and shoulders, as you guys know. So the way that head and shoulders patterns works is obviously we've got this neckline right here. We weren't able to break through this. We got rejected here, okay? And we came back down. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell at this point, but I would basically be saying that that pattern is likely just invalidated at this point. Unless we do some Quasimodo shit and, end up breaking through this resistance with some really, really strong volume. But right now, that's not looking like the case, right? We've got decreasing volume up here. We did have some divergence, okay, in terms of price. We made a higher high, didn't make a higher high on the RSI, maybe just barely. And then, price ended up turning over here. So on this pop up, we're still just seeing a lower high on the RSI, lower high in price action. So I would be assuming at this point that if bearish volume comes into the market, especially that we'll probably see at least another retest of this midline of the channel and potentially end up coming down here to the $36,000 area. Now, keep in mind, obviously, this is on a 4-hour chart. It's a little bit of a higher time frame, okay? But that's basically what I'm looking at here, okay? So this area here goes way back to here. So when we were in this level of consolidation, we've basically fallen back into that here with really drastic moves to the downside, okay? So the structure doesn't look entirely the same to me. It is pretty similar, but I wouldn't be calling it perfect. I certainly wouldn't be going as far enough to be calling that a fractal. I know a lot of people have, but fractals are basically just a way to, it's just hopium, okay? You're never going to chart off of a fractal, and you're never going to make a trade decision off of a fractal, or at least I hope you wouldn't. Because basically you're making the fractal to fit your bias. Like, oh, this structure looks similar to what happened over here, but nothing says that what happened previously is going to happen again, right? There's no guarantees in trading. That's just the way that it works. So fractals, they're cool to look at. They're fun to find and kind of play around with on the chart, but definitely not a reliable way to be trading at all. So that's really my only concern with this structure that we have here is we are forming a bear flag, and we do have decreasing volume here. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you invert this scale, like you guys know I love to be doing, and everything is flipped upside down, well, what do we have here? We've got a massive uptrend, and now we're getting lower highs and lower lows, and we're kind of stuck in a range here. That would be a bull flag. So you would be expecting to do something like this, where it taps the bottom of this support here, and then, be rocketing off to the upside. I can promise you that if this was a normal chart, this is what everybody would be charting it as. Okay. Right. So it's no different when you flip the chart back right side the way that it's supposed to be. Pretty much the same principle here. We're coming off a downside. We're consolidating here in a range, and I would be expecting this to at some point be breaking down to the lower end of things if we don't see a really big push of volume here. So in general, just all through this, no one's been really trying to mess with Bitcoin that much. And the majority of the volume that's been coming in has been on derivatives exchanges. I mentioned this a couple days as well. The volume difference between derivatives and spot is massive. And the reason for that is because all of this price action that we've been seeing ever since we had this first massive liquidation down here, all of this has basically just been derivatives volume. That's why it's been really, really choppy, is because there's no spot volume really coming into the markets. Now, I would be hoping that some of this would be institutions, maybe accumulating down here. But at the end of the day, if I was an institution and I saw this price structure, I would probably be either waiting for a breakout of resistance, or I would be waiting for a breakdown of support, because this basically looks like garbage. It doesn't look very awesome. So if we take these off and we look at Ichimoku Cloud, there are some positive things here, okay? I'm not going to lie. There's some positive stuff going on with Ichimoku Cloud. So we came up for the first time since we initially broke down way up here on the 12th of last month. We've come all the way down. So over the last couple days or so, 2 days, this is the first time that we've been testing our 50 EMA, and we're getting really, really into a tight range here. We're sitting above our Kijinsen and our Tenkan-sen line, and we're pushed right up to the bottom of the cloud here. So what I'm assuming would be happening is, since a lot of our signals are switching to be long on Ichimoku Cloud, is this could potentially be a signal for an early long opportunity. Now, given that we're below the cloud here, it would technically be breaking the Ichimoku rules to be longing this because we're below a red cloud. However, we do have a positive TK cross here on our Ichimoku Cloud, and the Chiku span is above the price action right now. So there are some positive things going on here, but I mean, with all of this big block of resistance, and we all know that this is there. If we turn everything else back on the screen, we know that this is a huge area of resistance. I would be a little timid longing this right now. I would want to see a push lower. If I did decide to go into a long position here, it would most likely be with very low leverage, almost a spot position, and it would probably be a pretty conservative position where I'm setting a stop loss very, very conservatively, like probably at this median line. Because if this median line breaks down, we're definitely going to be seeing the bottom of this again at around 36 to 35K, as I've mentioned before. So let's hop down to a 1 hour chart and see what we got here. 1 hour chart is telling us some different things, especially with Ichimoku Cloud. And the main thing is that we've been battling this 200 EMA. Everybody knows that the 200, especially on the 1 hour chart, the 200 EMA is a major, major level of support and resistance. And all of our other EMAs here and Ichimoku Cloud lines, they're basically just going flat and we're ranging here. This is very, very choppy price action here. So the only opportunities that I would be looking for is down on the 5 and 15 minute time frames. There isn't a real clear distinction of where we're going to be heading here, right? We're just kind of constricting into a range. And if we take this off and turn some of our drawings back on, let me get rid of some of these other previous trend lines, right? So what we have going on here now is we're getting lower highs, okay? And we're getting higher lows. Okay, so we're just seeing a real nice constriction of this price in here. And we saw this up here where we had a wedge, it broke out to the top side. We took a long here and rode it up to the top. I think I cashed out on that one at like 39 or so, but basically caught the majority of this move on a very low time frame. I think I caught this on the 5 minute. So that was a good play. Didn't take the short after that. And then, yesterday, we were in a long position from, and basically caught the majority of this move up. Okay, so we caught this pop and then it nuked. So where we are now is I saw some people on Twitter calling this another Head and Shoulders where we're doing something like this. That's plausible, but it's not probable, in my opinion. I don't think that that's a very probable thing to be happening here. Let me get this off the screen now since I've already explained that. And we'll move this up to a 4 hour only time frame so that we can clear up the chart here. So if I'm looking at this pattern, right, and we've got this lower trend line way down here, okay, that's like our last line of support that's moving up basically over time. If I'm looking at this, it's just choppy, right? We don't really know what's going to be happening with this. I wish that I had a clearer picture, but unfortunately the market was trending up here. Obviously we had a correction. We thought that this move was going to be taking us a lot higher up to 42. It didn't. It stopped short and then we retested 38 again. So, right now, since we are making lower highs and higher lows at the same time, so definitely some kind of a pennant forming. There's a very solid chance that during, it's a holiday weekend here coming up. It's Memorial Day weekend here in the States. Chances are volume is going to continue to be low. I know I'm not going to be around this weekend. I'm going to be spending time with the family. It might rain. We were going to go to Busch Gardens, but it might rain. So we might just do, something at one of our friends' house, maybe watch a soccer game or something. But all in all, I think that this is probably going to end up taking some time to be playing out. And again, this 38,000 resistance, which is now support that we've been battling all through here, very rough level at 38K here. If 38K breaks again and we fail to make a higher low on a retrace here, it's not going to be looking good because we didn't really consolidate through this entire move, right? I explained this in my video yesterday on a much higher time frame. Is when you see something like this, where you only have these very, very small tiny periods of consolidation through here, when you see structure like this, where it's basically just straight up, it turns into an issue, because when this level of support that's growing here, this trend line, when this breaks down, if this does not hold as support, chances are you're going to blow through a lot of those levels really, really quickly. Okay. The first level I would be looking for is here around 34. And then below that, that's our last line of defense down here at about 32K. I would personally like to visit 30 or 32K again so that I can purchase more spot. It would be a very fantastic spot buying opportunity. But in regards of this, and I think Nebraskan Gunnar went over this too in one of his videos, and I think he's absolutely right. If we come back out to a 1 hour time frame here and you look at the structure of this entire thing, this was up only mode. Okay, this whole thing, this whole structure here was pretty much up only mode. And when you look at the higher time frame, that those same rules apply. Like right now, we're using this level of consolidation that we had as support. That's why we've got this range drawn here. If this range breaks, all hell will break loose, because the next big area of consolidation we have is down here between 15 and 20K. That would be a major price reduction. At that point, that's when I would say, okay, it's probably, if we started seeing closes, and I've been saying this the whole time for like 2 weeks, if we see closes below 30K, that's bear market. I don't give a shit what anybody says at that point. It is going to take exponentially longer to be regaining these major levels of resistance that were prior support. It would take a very long time to be doing that. So in general, with the spot volume being so weak, it's not looking too great. I am happy that on the daily chart, this volume, the bearish volume, is decreasing. We do have a really nice bullish cross on our MACD here on the daily chart. So those are some things that I'm looking at very closely. If we come down to a 15-minute time frame, not much has changed. You can see though that as these time frames get lower, these are really awesome swings for intraday trades. Okay, like not swings, scalps. Excuse me. A swing trade is definitely more than a day. So that's basically what I've been playing. That's what we've been doing in the premium Telegram. We've just been playing smaller sized, smaller leveraged positions on alts as well as majors, and making some pretty good coin. This week we did pretty well. So I'll probably post those P&Ls later, or do a separate video on that stuff. That's not needed for a live stream. But so that little head and shoulders thing, that pattern that people are pointing out here, it's absolutely plausible. That's definitely a head and shoulder structure. Okay, neckline. So that's what I would be looking for. We would definitely be wanting to see, obviously, a breakout. These two levels converge right here. Okay, so this would be a major level of resistance that we would be looking at. And sure enough, it's right at 40K. So 40K seems to be the battle that we need to reclaim first, and pray to God that 38 and 35K holds. So that's what I'm looking at here. If we take a look at the algo that I have, just on this 5-minute chart, you can see here how nice these swings have been, right? This was a fantastic short when it broke down. This was a fantastic long position. I think we exited at some point in here yesterday or whatever. Oh no, it was back here. We exited somewhere around here, and then luckily we exited, market tanked right away. Didn't get into a short. It was already too late here, my time. I was going to bed at this point. I mean, look at the times down here, okay? I was going to sleep. Missed this long this morning because of everything I had going on. This started at like 1:30 in the morning. I was already in bed. So I missed this whole move, but it's not that big of a deal, right? There's always another trade to be had. So right now we retraced, and now it just looks here like the price is consolidating a little bit. So my algo on the 5-minute chart, obviously still bearish, but we are seeing some signs of life over here, right? Our QQE indicator, our yellow line has crossed above everything. And right now it's battling with the green line. So until this red line crosses above everything and we see some bearish volume, there's a chance that this could have bottomed here, but it could also be something like this where we just get like a little tiny dip, and then we, keep going. So I'm going to be taking a look at that closer. 15-minute chart is a little more clear. 15-minute chart is calling bearish on this. Obviously, since, we had this pretty significant drop in price. However, the volume is dropping off a lot here. So I want to wait for confirmation on this. Our center line is staying green for the most part. We don't really have any white candles here. QQE line is trying to break up into positive territory, and we've got that resistance line here that I have right at, I guess, about 39,500. So that's a pretty major level of resistance that I'm going to be watching for. I would like to see some bull volume come in and break above this this yellow dotted line. That's the volume threshold that I have set for this strategy. And as long as we see that, especially on a cross, with this yellow line crossing above, I would definitely be entering into some kind of a long position. Again, smaller time frames, lower position size, small to medium leverage at most. And when I say medium, I'm saying like 5x. 5x would be like maximum that I would take on that. So that being said, let's go and take a look at Ethereum real quick. Now, the Ethereum chart is pretty much looking the same here. We actually never got the dip that I was expecting on this play. I was hoping that we were going to dip down further to hit 2,200 again. My bids there never filled, unfortunately, so I kind of missed out on this play. But what's happening now is you can see it's pretty much the same, right? We're just consolidating here. The structure is slightly different on this, but for the most part, we're just in a period of consolidation, okay? We don't really have divergence here on our RSI. We're getting lower highs in price, lower highs in RSI. Okay, bearish volume looks to be dying off a little bit, and there's a little glimmer of hope down here on the small 15-minute time frame. But in general, this is consolidation, okay? So coming up, let's do a 1 hour chart. And yeah, we pretty much got the same thing here. It looks like we're kind of potentially on Ethereum. This looks a lot more stable to me than Bitcoin's price action does. It's respecting these levels a lot more clearly than Bitcoin has. So I would be more confident in taking longs. Honestly, if support was holding on Ethereum, I would probably be looking at this chart to be judging whether or not I should be getting into some kind of a long position across the board. Because normally when Ethereum's major levels of support and resistance hold, they really hold. So that's something that I'm really taking into account here. If we look at Ichimoku Cloud, definitely all positive. We actually just got let me take this off. It looks like we just got a cross of our 200 and our 50 EMA. That is really, really nice. So if we did get another pullback, I would probably be trying to be bidding and be laddering in here, probably between the 200 EMA and like, the Kijinsen line down here at like 2650, 2700, stuff like that. Again, low time frame trading here. This has the potential. Okay, here's the thing. Let me go back to a full screen. Okay, these moves that Bitcoin and Ethereum have been doing and chopping around like this have been coming off of a major bounce. Okay, you can see it. Okay, right there on the chart. Here's the deal with that. Coming off of a major move like that, off of a significant bounce, there's a chance that we could be continuing to the upside, but we have to get spot volume into the market. The more that you guys end up trading and the more that you guys learn throughout this trading journey that you're embarking on, the more that you're going to be realizing how much of an effect volume has on the markets. Once I started taking a really deeper dive into volume analysis and I really started looking at those kinds of things, order flow and all of that good stuff, it has a major effect on price action. I think I had an educational graphic about, when the price is going up and the OBV is going down, and the open interest is going up and all that stuff. I'll probably repost that on Twitter. Obviously, I'll have that in the Telegram and stuff for you guys. But that's very, very important. And for those of you that have followed me long enough, you know that I make plays based off of volume and order flow. A lot of people say, oh, don't trade off of the order book. It's not trading off the order book alone. It's taking that one aspect of the order flow and what the books look like, and then comparing and contrasting that with what does the options flow look like? What is the open interest doing in relation to the price action? Those are things that once you start making when you start looking at that for analysis and you start comparing and contrasting those different aspects of what's happening with the price action, that's when you start getting a really, really clear picture of, okay, what does this structure mean? If this structure is forming based on the volume that's going on right now, what could potentially be the outcome? And then you can use that, whatever, you summarize from that, you can combine that with your other forms of analysis, like I just did. Is there a pattern going on? What does Ichimoku Cloud say? What do our moving averages tell us? And you can start really looking at these things and get a more clear picture of the market. So right now, I mean, I would love on on these lower timeframes for this to be, on the 1 hour especially, for this to be some kind of a, continuation pattern where, we broke a previous level of resistance here, okay, at 2,400. We broke higher. We hit resistance here at 27, broke down, retested all of this as support, right? So this little area of consolidation here, right, basically at this block or whatever, okay, we were testing this, okay, we broke above higher, and now we're retesting that and using this as support. So in my opinion, and I am macro bullish here. Don't get me fucked up, okay? We're definitely macro bullish for right now. While 30K on Bitcoin holds, I'm still macro bullish. There's a very good possibility that we make if we dip deeper, we make a higher low here and then come up and make a higher high in relation to this one that we just had at 2870 or whatever. There's a very good possibility that we do something like that and we break higher. How high we go, psychological number, probably 3,000, and then be retesting this. So again, volume, zooming in here, even on this 1 hour time frame. I mean, just look at this, right? It's garbage. It's just hot garbage. I'm not really interested in taking large positions, especially with any kind of leverage over 5x on these smaller timeframes. Not really interested in it, especially coming up to a holiday weekend here in the United States. People are going to be out. They're going to be grilling. They're going to be with their families. The pool's open. It's basically like the start of summer. Okay. So I would be anticipating probably lower volume. Now it's yet to be seen if, is Asia going to be taking advantage of the fact that we're getting lower volume? Is that going to be a thing? Are they going to try and nuke it again and really, really go for a sweep of all of this liquidity below us and tank it during the weekend? I'm going to be watching the price action very closely tomorrow. That's for damn sure. And if it's looking like the price action is going to be turning over on low volume, yeah, you can bet your ass I'm probably going to just get into a conservative short and just play the short side of it. And whatever else is in my portfolio that I'm not trading with, if it looks like it's going to turn over, yeah, I'm going to go into cash and then I'm going to buy it back lower and set alerts on my phone and, see what happens with that. Let's refresh this one more time. And I should have changed it to tier 4. Let me actually change this real quick. So the tiers, how this works on High Block Capital is the tiers basically, this is the lowest tier. That's all the volume for the futures. And then tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. I think that those just increase by like 10 or 20 million each time. So tier 4 obviously being the highest. Most of the orders I think on here are going to be like between like 60 and up. Okay, so 50 and up, I guess, is the threshold for this. So 50 million. There is a significant amount of large liquidity still below us here. Okay, these were pretty spread out here before we dropped, and it took all this liquidity. And then retail started shorting more and it grabbed this liquidity that was deeper down here. Okay. This order had been here since, I guess, 9:20 on the 27th. What's today? Right. So this was here since the morning and it just was able to snag one of these last orders here. Okay. With low volume, especially low bullish volume coming into the market, there's a very, very high chance that we could come down and at least see 37.7 here, before the end of the day. If the Asia session decides to be bearish on us, then yeah, there's a very solid chance that they could be coming for this liquidity. To get this liquidity, post orders on the books, suppress the price, make the price go as low as it possibly can, and then in turn be buying that dip, right, and filling up their bags. With the higher liquidity here, this is the thing that you have to understand with liquidity analysis, okay? Is when you see big gaps like this, unless there's a lot of spot volume, this is another reason why I keep talking about spot volume, guys. There's just open air above us, right? There's no short liquidation levels to be helping the price move further up. And we're pretty far away from it on this lower time frame. Like all of this liquidity doesn't even start until over 40K. And all of the spot resistance where people want to be selling is at 40K. So right now it's not looking too hopeful, in my opinion, for climbing above and being able to liquidate these massive short orders up to 42K. I'm not going to rule it out, but right now, again, unless there's bullish volume coming in, pretty low chance of that happening. Now, to the downside, there's not very much space between our next levels of liquidation here. And I can promise you that if we start losing, especially like 38K, down here, I guess this would be the last one around here, right at 38K. If we start dropping lower than that, I would probably be trying to be laddering short positions in expectation that all of this liquidity will be taken out of the market. Okay, so that's pretty much where we stand with that. Now we can do the same thing for Ethereum. Okay, let's get Ethereum up here. I'm not sure how crazy the chart is going to be on tier 2. I've never done that on Ethereum before. Okay, yeah, chart's too crazy. Let's bring it up to tier 4 and see where the whales let's see where the big boys got their liquidations at. It looks like there's nothing over 50 million here, so let's take it down. Really, really choppy. Okay, there's basically nothing around us in terms of like really, really large orders. The first large orders are above us at basically 3,000. So this would be this is why breakout trading is really difficult, because you're placing your entry at where liquidity is for shorts to be closing out their positions. And that's normally why when you breakout trade, if you buy it as soon as it breaks out, that's normally when you end up going into the negative real quick and seeing drawdown, because normally the price is moving up that high so that it can take that liquidity, and your entry was someone else's stop. So if there's no liquidity at 3,000 and there's no buyers up there, there's no demand up at those prices, the price is going to immediately come down, and now you're closing your position at a loss. That's why it's not recommended to be breakout trading. It's normally recommended, as you guys know, to wait for the breakout and then buy the retest and ladder in. Okay. So yeah, bringing it down to tier 2, let's just kind of deal with this craziness real quick and get a better picture for Ethereum, right? Because as I just mentioned, Ethereum's kind of a leader. Okay. So in terms of the price action, it has been leading and it has been outperforming Bitcoin for the better part of like 2 months now about. So I've been looking towards Ethereum to be backing up my my chart ideas on Bitcoin, because it's been leading. Okay. Very, very, very tight range here, and lots of liquidity below us. Yeah, so I mean, it's basically just two massive blocks on either side, but the price has just been literally going sideways all through this. It's literally just going sideways. And you know, if you look at the chart and you bring this down to like a 5 minute, I mean, yeah, you can, I mean, just this looks like garbage. So, coming off something like this, you know, I'm not going to waste my time doing like Elliott wave theory on a very low time frame like this. It's just not worth it. I don't really do Elliott wave analysis anymore. It just takes too much time. There are some really good guys on Twitter that do that, namely Crypto Tony, Dave Crypto, like 88 or 80 or something. Sensei Hove, Sensei, whatever his name is. There's a lot of good dudes that do Elliott wave analysis, even on the lower time frames, to try and make sense of this stuff. And what I've found is that the way that I perform my analysis, normally it lines up with what their predictions are with Elliott wave theory. So that's the main reason why I stopped doing it. So at this point, is there a head and shoulders on the weekly? It's something that me and everybody else, let's go over and look at the Bitcoin. It's a little more clear here. This is something that people are calling for. And honestly, in my opinion, it's FUD. Okay. it's very, very rare to have a head and shoulders on a weekly chart that actually looks decent. And technically, if something like this happened, it would be a head and shoulders. But I mean, this is basically what I'm getting at. Like, this is why I'm saying if we close below, 30K and we're not able to reclaim that and we reject there's a lot of open air below us. Okay. So that is absolutely possible. It's something that I've personally been trying to ignore because I don't want the bull run to be over, right? I mean, who does? So yeah, that's absolutely a possibility, Slim Fit. Hail King, thank you. What's up, Kobra? How's it going, CK? Spot has been weak. Yes. That's my main concern right now. And actually, let's actually take a look at, I think I bookmarked this. It's the Durbit metrics. Okay. So 90% of the people that are trading options on Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing it on Deribit. Okay. So, this is really important. And I think I made a post about this. I saw a couple other people posting this on Twitter as well. So right now, options for Bitcoin, okay, max pain for puts, which is sell orders on options, is a 50K. The sellers have been guarding these positions very heavily. You guys can see that in the price action. It took us forever to break through 38. We tapped 40 now like 2 or 3 times. They're guarding it. We keep rejecting there very hard. It's because they know that if we come up and the price action starts coming up and liquidating all of these orders that are on the regular futures, all the way up to like 42, 43K, their options are going to be expiring way less in the money than obviously they would be if they were, expiring at 35K or something like that. So I initially thought that there was a very strong chance of a lot of volume coming into the market to try and liquidate all of those options off of the books. We haven't seen that. They've been guarding all their positions. So if you look at ETH, okay, for tomorrow, max pain this week is 3K. I don't think we're going to be hitting 3K. They're guarding these positions very, very well. Okay. So if we take a look at futures here, this is obviously just more information. You guys can dive through this if you want. I'm actually going to go ahead and I will put this link in the chat box for you guys. Feel free to favorite this. Very, very important. Normally, looking at, again, options order flow, right? Volume, order flow. What is the general sentiment of the market? Where are people, where are the clusters of, big calls and puts for the options flow? These are all very important things that as you start growing as a trader and as you start learning what these metrics are, researching how they work, what they represent, and being able to, understand the information that's on pages like this, is very important. And I highly recommend, involving volume analysis, order flow, taking a look at what the options are doing and stuff like that. It's all very important. So I think I've harped on that enough. Bitcoin's still pretty much going sideways right now as we speak. So at this point, big sell orders come in every time we kiss the 40s. You're absolutely correct. And the reason why is because, in my opinion, at least, where is it? Nope, that's BCH. And in my opinion, it's because of this. Not only are the options guarding their positions for Friday, and obviously they want them to expire in the money tomorrow at the end of the day. But the other reason too is that the bears, I think, know that they've got a pretty strong hold on us right now. They know that there's no spot volume coming into the market. Okay. They know that the majority, they know if you're in a large position, you know where your liquidation level is. And if you've got, obviously you're not using all of the money in your portfolio for a single position, they're guarding here. Okay. They're guarding all up here. As soon as we break 40K, and we get like a substantial close, like a 1 hour close above there, they know that that's when people start looking to be buying the breakouts. If spot volume comes into the market at 40K, they know that they get liquidated up here and that will propel the price up to 45 or 48K. They know this. They're not stupid. They're traders just like you and me. They're just, bear biased instead of bull biased. Most bears that are trading heavy right now are under the impression that, okay, this fucking channel broke down. We made a close well below 45. And, that's pretty much the end of it. It's a bear market now. I personally think that they're assuming it's a bear market a little too soon. That's just the way that I roll. But in general, this price action down here, it is definitely not looking as strong as I would like it to. Now, when I say that, we had a really strong candle here. Okay. Back on the 24th, 4 days ago, we had a very, very strong candle, bullish engulfing candle. Everybody got really excited that we had a bullish engulfing on the daily. It's not something that has happened in a very long time here. We had one here back in, last month. I thought that we were going to see some follow through on this. And I mean, just look at these 3 days candles, right? It's looks really bad. It's basically a spinning top, a bearish hammer. And now it looks like we're forming another spinning top here. That price action is some weak sauce. Okay. That is really weak right now. Sure, the bearish volume is dropping off, but we're not seeing any kind of bullish volume throughout this entire thing. Even on this major green candle, the volume bar didn't even flip green. To me, that's worrisome. Being this low near the RSI, on the daily, but it's recovered a little bit. The RSI, it's sitting at, 37. Okay. So yeah, it definitely has room to be moving lower. We've seen the RSI go real deep. Okay. We've seen it come all the way down in the last year. We've seen it come all the way down to 15. This most recent drop, we hit 22. So there's definitely room for it to go lower, especially if we're only sitting at about a 30 level right now. So that's kind of where my main concern lies. And I think I said this last week as well. If we don't start reclaiming this 200 daily moving average, we are in some serious trouble here. The lack of volume, I thought that there would be a way bigger buy the dip event than there has been. We got one candle of that, and now the price action just sucks. So is it making me nervous? Yes. Do I like being down here at these price levels? No. Will I buy spot if the market completely crashes? Let me go back to my camera here. If the market completely crashes and we see price, coming down real low, like 25K, 20K, 15K, I'm not selling my bags at a loss. Absolutely not. I've been taking profit all the way up to 65K. And pretty much right now, I'm not even really holding any long-term alt bags, except for the ones that I bought spot way back 2 years ago. Those are the only ones that I'm holding right now. Anything that I purchased this year, 6 months ago, whatever, when the bull market was really starting to pop off, those are gone. I traded those. I sold those for a win. I took my profits. And now with the market flipping over on higher timeframes like this and barely holding on, to this basically last level of consolidation that we have here, in terms of price action, this is our last level of consolidation that we have, barely holding on to that. It does make me nervous. But in general, at these levels, again, I'm being conservative. I'm playing scalps on low time frames, small position sizes, very low leverage, making gains the best I can. And if the market flips over, I'll attempt to, short it and have, ride those shorts down as a hedge into my spot bids. So I do still have resting spot bids on the book. So where do I have those? My spot bids are laddered everywhere. I don't have them right in front of me. Obviously they're on my phone. I can't use my phone right now. It's charging. But I know that I've got spot bids at 30. My spot bid at 30 that I had there already, it didn't fill on that wick down that we got. I never got filled at 30K here. It literally just tapped down there for like 2 seconds. So my orders at 30 did not get filled. If you guys got filled at 30, That's freaking awesome. Like I'm so happy for you that you guys got a spot bid in at 30, because think about it, the price has already gone up another 10 grand. You made bank just making that little spot bid. Even if it was $1,000, that $1,000 is probably like $1,200, $1,500 now. So good for you on that. If you guys hit 30, my last one that hit was at 33. So currently that was my lowest spot bid that filled. I do have one at 30. And then outside of that, I think my next one is down at like 25 and then 20K. And they're pretty stagnated throughout this price action here, specifically because, like I just mentioned, we start breaking down below 30K and we start seeing daily closes below there. We're in some very, very serious danger of coming down extremely low. This first level is at 23.8. I guess you could call this level here. Okay. What's that one at? Basically 27,000. Okay. So I don't, I want to believe, right? Like I don't want the bull market to be over, but, unfortunately, if we start breaking lower than this, then, this, potential head. See, here's the reason why I don't like calling this a head and shoulders, guys. It looks like a head and shoulders on the weekly, but I mean, like, what the hell, whose head looks like that, right? I mean, a head and shoulders is supposed to be like a really clearly defined, mountain, right? This is not a mountain to me. That's like a fucking prairie. Okay. Like, I don't know whose head is this? Maybe it's like, the meme, like the dude with the drool coming out of his mouth where his head is half melted or whatever. Like, that's basically what that looks like to me. Doesn't look impulsive. Hold on. Dude, analysis is top notch. You made me feel better closing out my positions yesterday going into the weekend. Subbed for sure. Thanks, Adam. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Corn Julio. I like your name, man. The name checks out. I love that. Love that. That's great. It doesn't look impulsive. What is your latest primary Elliott count? I just mentioned early in the stream. I don't know. Maybe you got here after. I don't really do Elliott wave counts anymore. I don't. It takes way too much time. I've got way too much going on. Running my own business, doing the premium Telegram group for you guys. By the way, if you guys are here from somewhere else, make sure that you check all that out in the description down below. Obviously that's like my trading book now. I'm not giving any of the information away for free anymore. It's just too much work. There's too many people in there in the public one to respond to. So I took a lot of those things private. There's other benefits with that. You can check out cobra-trading.com for more information on that. Anyway, in terms of impulsive, it looks impulsive down. Is that what you mean? Like, does the down move not look impulsive? I'll come back to you for some clear definition on that question, because this move to the downside, that definitely looks impulsive to me. In terms of the move from the bottom, if that's what you mean, no, it's not impulsive. And the reason why is what I've basically been talking about this entire time is the volume just sucks. It's terrible. And no, that is not an impulsive play. There's lots of wicks everywhere, lots of dojis and spinning tops everywhere. It's just not looking impulsive at all from the downside. What's up, Gleb? How's it going? I think I pronounced that right. Gleb? I hope it's not Glebe. It's Gleb. We'll go with Gleb. Let's see here. Might go down to the 34K range this weekend if we can't close above 40. I tend to agree with that. However, at this point, we're still even battling with 38K. And yeah, that's, you and me are on the same page with that. If we do not close above 40 to 42K very, very soon, we are in serious trouble. Okay. Serious trouble. And again, where is that major resistance here, guys? Right at that 200 EMA, right there. Right at 41,860. The EMA is actually coming down. It's like giving us a chance. And we haven't even, what's more concerning is that if you look at these wicks here, okay, the candlesticks can tell you so much information. Like everyone says, oh, the candlesticks are a meme. Candlesticks are not a meme, okay? They're only a meme before they close. Once the candle closes, the candle is the candle, okay? And you can get a lot of information and get, Obviously, you're not going to trade off just the candlestick, right? But you see what I'm saying here. These candles can tell you a lot. This tells me no volume. This is very choppy price action on the daily chart. To only be seeing the candle bodies, this small is not good. Normally on the daily chart, we see, there's pretty substantial candles unless we're going sideways and we're choppy. This is not impulsive. It's not. Am I bullish? I mean, yeah, I really want to stay bullish, but I'm starting to lose confidence very quickly. I was very bullish that we had bottomed because of what the wicks were telling us to the downside. I got more bullish when we had this major bullish engulfing candle, but without seeing follow through 3 days in a row, it's not looking good. We haven't even flipped the volume green. I'm worried. Yes, I'm worried. Let's see. Nebraskan Gooner, I'm assuming, has called for a 14K Bitcoin in January 2022. I mean, when you're making calls like that, it's kind of like the nut up or shut up thing. So if he's calling short and he's saying, okay, this is it, whatever signs he's seeing, whatever analysis that he's using, maybe it's just recently that he's saying, hey, there's no follow through on this nonsense. This is a bear market. If he's flipped his bias bear, it is what it is. He's another fantastic trader, by the way. I love Nebraskan Gooner. He's a good guy. Shout out to him. But yeah, no, that's absolutely possible. Here's the deal. We don't have a crystal ball, right? Like no one really knows what's going to happen. We can only gather information from what the chart tells us and from news events that occur in the market. That's it. And react. Obviously, as traders, our job is to react to that news and the price action as quickly as possible to, seize the moment, get the opportunity and make some money off of it. And with the goal being, don't give any of it back to the market, right? Correct the first time. So it is Gleb. I did get your name correct. That is good to know. Gleb in the YouTube chat. We are in an Elliott wave extension downwards. This could very well be. See, here's the thing with us consolidating here. Okay. Like if this was my best guess, there's some hardcore, you guys want Elliott wave. So I'll give the people what they want. Okay. I'm not going to, sure. I'll go through and label it. I'll even do that for you guys. Why not? We're live, right? So here's the deal with this. If this was an impulse down and this was our top, okay. Obviously it was our top for now at 65K. Duh. I'd be labeling this like this. Okay. And there's definitely the possibility of this being a 5-wave correction, part of some massive, A wave, coming into a B or C or whatever, or maybe this is a flat or something where, we see something like this, some kind of weird, this is why I don't do Elliott wave theory. There's so many different possibilities. And the main problem, look, I'm not hating. Okay. Hold on a second here. I am not hating on Elliott wave theory. I just choose to not do it because it is so circumstantial. And the problem with Elliott wave theory is that even though it is a very good tool to use to find confluence in your trade plan, the counts can never be confirmed until they've already played out. You never have a solid, you can have a solid count, but it could get invalidated 10 different ways before the real count is discoverable because the price action has to be there in order for you to label it. So that's inherently the flaw with Elliott wave traders. There are a lot of people, don't get me wrong, like Satoshi Heavy included. Okay. He is fantastic at Elliott wave theory. But at the end of the day, I don't have the time to do all that. I have no idea how these guys are able to make so many different counts, a bullish count, a bearish count, this count, that count on like 10 different pairings and just be doing that all day long. Like for me, if I did that, I wouldn't even have time to trade. So that's my kind of little rant about Elliott wave theory. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate in the comments for that. Oh, Elliott wave theory is the best. I learned Elliott wave theory when I was just beginning too. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to learn. In fact, I think there's in the link down in the description, there should be a link there that you can get a free copy of this book. Boom. I have it right here. Okay. Yes. This is like the Bible. This is like the Bible of Elliott wave theory. Okay. I've even gone through here and I've marked and I've highlighted. Okay. Like all of this stuff. Like look at how many marks and drawings and stuff that are in this book, highlighting, underlining so much stuff. You guys can pick up a copy of this for free with the link down in the description and, you know, learn all about it. There's a lot of rules, which obviously are there so that the, you know, you can get your counts correct and have like a better idea for stuff. But in general, you know, if we were measuring all of this stuff for Elliott wave theory, you know, and all of that, you know, okay, let's measure wave one. How big was wave two's retracement? You know, okay, it hit the golden pocket. That's a valid wave two. Okay. You know, based on, you know, the length of wave one projected from wave two, where are we going to project wave three? Well, I can already tell you for a fact that it hit the 1618 extension. So that is a very valid wave three. Now, here's the thing. You guys know that I'm heavy on fib analysis. Okay. I love fib analysis. You guys know that that is my jam. Okay. That is how I trade. That is how I look for levels for confluence and support and resistance. That is what I do. Elliott wave theory is literally based off of Fibonacci. There is an entire friggin' chapter in this book. And before it even goes into Fibonacci theory, it gives you the entire history about what it is, where it came from, who invented it, who he was, when did he live, all of that good stuff. If I can find it in here, I'll show the chapter to you real quick. Boom. There's an entire, it starts out with the history first, right? Okay, let me get that in the camera. It starts out with the history of Fibonacci first, and then goes into all of it, all of the relationships and everything. All of that information is readily available in this book. Again, you can pick it up, a free copy down in the description below, a free digital copy. I think it's like a PDF or whatever. But anyway, Elliott wave theory, heavily based off of fib analysis, because that's how you are determining whether your count is correct or not and placing targets. I do the same exact thing without doing all the shit with labeling it all. I just use the fibs. To me, it's faster, it's easier. I get the same results. And normally my trading plan lines up with the people that do Elliott wave theory. So, you know, that works. Anyway, continuing here. So if this is a 1, this is a 2, 3 hit the 1618, right? Okay, well, if we measure this, if we measure wave 3, okay, bottom to top here, boom. Technically, we did hit the 382 at one point, and now we're just kind of consolidating and bouncing around. There's a very good chance that we could just see consolidation for like a month and then go down to 25K. So there is that. Can you link the liquidation charts? That's also down in the description below. It is called High Block Capital. Okay, there is a link for that down below. I highly recommend that service. The liquidation charts, by the way, guys, and if you guys are new to my channel, go back and look at my videos. There's like a video called like the best platform I've ever used. That's an entire video on this platform. Okay, like it's not just the liquidation charts. That's why I pay for this service, but that's not all they have here. There's a whole lot of stuff on here. Okay, they've got coin screeners, open interest profiles, probabilities, net positions. You can make your own custom dashboard and combine all of the different tools and everything. Very, very nice platform. For me, totally worth the money. I use this every single day. Anyway, going back to this, every time I click on it, it just links me to the sign up, but I'm already signed up. Are you talking about the High Block Capital thing? I don't know. I'll have to see. I like some general Elliott concepts, but the amount of exceptions to the rules makes it really hard without committing the effort you mentioned. Exactly. Yes. And that is why people are lazy, right? I'm a copy paster. I like copying and pasting stuff in Word documents. I like just drawing a fib and trading off of it and looking for confluence. I want to be able to look at my chart and in 2 seconds, on no matter what time frame, know whether or not I'm going to be planning for a long or planning for a short. And with Elliott wave theory, there's just exactly like you said, you have to commit so much effort in order to be able to get that picture. It's just not worth it. Not a thing for me. But anyway, technically this is already, in terms of Elliott wave theory, since we're on that topic, technically, yes, this is a valid wave 4. We have come up and we've hit the 382. Especially if you take this down to a lower time frame here, it looks like we're forming some kind of consolidation. We're ranging here. We've got random fucking patterns that aren't playing out. It's very choppy. That is extremely typical of a wave 4. Okay, so that is why in general, a lot of these Elliott wave theorists, they're calling for more downside. And without doing Elliott wave theory, with the earlier on in the stream, you guys know exactly why I would be calling for more downside. On the lower time frame here, 4 hour and 1 hour, if we break below 38, I think that we see 35 or 36. Or potentially down here to, like the high 34s or whatever, test this midline of this overall range that we have in here. Okay. Which at that point will probably also be about the bottom of the trend line here. We break down out of this channel. And yeah, I'm probably going to be full on bearish because as I explained before, especially higher timeframes, there is just some straight, just open air below us. Once we break below that, it's just open air over here all the way down. So I would be very timid here. That's basically what I'm getting at. So if you guys want at this point, go ahead. For those of you that are in the premium Telegram watching, go ahead and tag in the Telegram group which charts you want to see. And I'll also take requests from the public. After I do the Telegram first, I'll go ahead and take your requests for charts and stuff. If you guys want to take a look at some other pairings real quick. If not, and you guys aren't really sitting in any pairings right now and you're not too concerned about what the alts are doing, then we can just go ahead and call it a day. And then I'll be back after the weekend. But if you guys want some extra charts, I'm willing to stick around here for maybe another 15, 20 minutes and take a look at some other pairings. And yes, rest in peace alts. The alts are not. In general, most of the alts look the same, guys. Okay, like they look like garbage. They've broken down through some serious levels of resistance. Okay, and it's just not, in general, not looking good here. And this was one of the things that I've been talking about, is that when you look left gives you clues. Okay, left gives you clues of where bottoms are. So that's a range right now. And honestly, this could probably be moved down. And I'm probably just going to turn this one gray. It looks like the middle's like right about here or something, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. So this is taking a look at algo right now. Let me close this. All right. Alts scare me now. Yeah, well, it's kind of like that meme, okay, that has been floating around on crypto Twitter. It's the one from the Simpsons movie where they basically replaced it. It's like, my portfolio is down 25% or whatever, and then it's like, no, your portfolio is only down 25% right now. Really, really funny meme. I love that one. But that is that's really, really true. Because that's literally what's happening right now. And the meme I'm talking about is that. My portfolio is down 25%. Your portfolio is down 25% so far. Those of you guys that have been around here with me since, 2018, 2017 and before, yeah, like this is the way that it works. When you see your portfolio get chopped in half, you know that, after going through all of that, damn well that your portfolio can get chopped in half again. We know that for a fact. Jazz, if you're in the stream, I have no freaking clue what BZRX is. I will start with KNC first. We'll do that one. If Jazz is in chat, I have no clue what BZRX is. I don't know what that is. Am I too much of a boomer? Is it like one of the the tokens that like the kiddos are trading or something. I don't know. I've literally never heard of that one. And I don't want to knock anybody's age or anything, but I'm about those boomer coins. Everyone calls them boomer coins, but they withstand big drops way better than a lot of these other things. It looks like I don't have KNC on here. Is that a thing right now? It must be on here. No, wow, I don't have it on here. What the hell happened to my alts list? Let's do, I guess we'll do the one paired with Tether. Sure, why not? BZX protocol. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. Let's look at KNC first. I will take a look at the chart. I'm just like wondering what it was. It's like I've never heard of that before. So KNC pretty much looks like just the others, and it looks like it's holding support down in here really well. So for KNC on the daily chart, this is not looking too bad. But obviously, like everything else right now, there's definitely room for downside on this. Let's draw some major levels here on the daily time frame first and just get our bearings right. We've got level of resistance here. Oops, that needs to be red. We got a level of resistance here, and then we've got our all-time high. Not really going to bother labeling that. It's just we have an all-time high. Cool. Support. Obviously, massive support down here. Okay. And actually, I would really be more comfortable just drawing a range here instead, because like most everything else, there's a range here. Okay. That's like the support box that we need to be watching. Okay. Now this is a major level of support on the daily and probably the weekly time frame as well. Yeah, that's a major weekly level. Okay. So this breaks down and it's not going to be looking very good. Now, if you look at the alts that in general have lower volume and you're applying Elliott wave theory to that, this looks way more like a 5-wave sequence down to me. Okay. In general. Now, I'm not up to date right now on all of the actual rules for Elliott wave theory. But in general, I would kind of have that labeled as that. Technically, that's a valid 2-wave because it didn't go, beyond, the open of the first wave here. If we're counting wicks, then that's valid. And if you're not counting wicks, it's still valid because it only came up to 355. So for the sake of argument here, let's not count the wicks on these. Okay. And we'll label it like this. Whatever. So if I was expecting another wave down, where would it be? Well, again, fib extension tool, wave 2 to 3 projected off the 4. And yeah, you're looking between 93 under $1, basically under $1. And that lines up really well. This golden pocket, boom, lines up really, really nicely with a level of support down here. If you look left, bam, there we go. Right at the 618 zone, right at the golden pocket. So that's basically the open air that's below us. And there are some smaller levels of support in here. But if I was expecting lower, I would be buying under $1. Like I wouldn't even consider it under $1. Right now, in general, I'm not considering buying any alts in general, just cause. Now, BZRX, the unknown coin that I've never heard of. Let's do it. I'm just messing with you, Jazz. You know me. I'm just screwing with you. I guess let's do against Tether. Sure. Why not? It's a 37 cents. It's a cheap coin. Oof. Okay. So I can tell you right now from prior experience, in other alt markets, this is not a good situation to be in because since 2020, this coin never broke its 2020 all-time high when literally 90% of other tokens did. So that right away is not good. And this is basically like going to be your all-time high resistance. This would be the last one before going into price discovery on this on a high time frame. So let's go through. We'll label message levels of support and resistance. There's one here, obviously, where the price action's at now. Okay. In general, though, this price action in terms of these support and resistance levels, it looks very, very clean to me. Like this is very, very clean in terms of levels of support and resistance here. Yeah, this is very, very clean. All of these levels line up super well. Actually, let's put the wick down here. Yeah, these are very, very, very solid support levels, especially on the daily time frame here. And then obviously you've got like your all-time low. Probably not going to be revisiting that, but I have seen, and you guys have seen, those of you that have been here, I know for a fact that you guys have seen coins go below their all-time low before. That's basically how they get dubbed shit coins. But anyway, price action here on this candle that we have right here on the day, not looking good. It's looking like a hanging man doji. Typically, that's not a good thing to be seeing. It means that there's no volume to be pushing the price higher. The bears have been in full control this entire time trying to suppress the price. There's a very, very, very tiny wick to the upside, signaling that bulls do not have control of this session that's happening on the day. Clearly with what's going on, right? So again, in general, here's where things start getting a little more dicey in terms of Elliott wave counts, because this goes above, this isn't a wave one for the downside. This would be a top. Okay. And this whole structure would have been a correction. And then this is an impulse down. So you would have something like a 1, 2, 3, and then now this is like a fourth wave and, a potential from a downside here. Okay. I don't know what this protocol does. Jazz, link me something in the Telegram group so I can go read up on this. I've never heard of it before. I'm always open to researching and reading white papers on new products. I do that before I invest money in any altcoin. Down here on the lower timeframes, we pretty much have the same structure as Bitcoin. So this coin definitely follows Bitcoin here. And honestly, though, the price action with the levels is so much cleaner than Bitcoin's. Like, look at how much respect for that level of resistance and support that the price action has had in that zone here. Like, respecting the levels very, very cleanly on this token. That's why altcoins are fun to trade, because in general, since they're lower volume, they tend to respect the levels a lot more because less people are trading them. But just be mindful, lower 1 hour time frame, you do have a bearish cross here on low volume. So just be careful of that. That's all I can say about that one. Hermie is in the Telegram. He wants me to take a look at Litecoin. I will absolutely do that. Please don't look like trash. Please don't look like trash. Please don't look like trash. It doesn't even look like I changed. It doesn't look like I changed the chart. Let's look. So this was exaggerated divergence up top here, and then followed to the downside. So let me move that off the screen. Let's not kid ourselves. I'm not going to spend the time. If I was doing Elliott wave theory on all of this stuff live with you guys, like the live stream would be like 6 hours long. Like I'm not messing with all that. Unless I already had counts on a chart, I'm not really going to be discussing that stuff. Let's see. Yeah, this chart looks very, very similar to most of the other coins. Okay. Obviously Matic is a little more dramatic with shit that went on back here. But in general, Litecoin, it's in the same basic situation that 90% of the other coins are, because 90% of these coins are heavily paired with Bitcoin. They follow Bitcoin. When Bitcoin dumps, they dump. When Bitcoin goes up, normally it drags the value of the altcoins up with it a little, unless Bitcoin is going on a huge parabolic move, and then obviously everyone goes into Bitcoin. They sell into Bitcoin to get the P&L. But in general, on smaller Bitcoin moves up and down and stuff like that, it takes coins with them. You know, especially on a massive down move like this. This was when Bitcoin first went down here. So in general, I mean, yeah, it looks basically the same as everything else. There really isn't too much to say about this. I would like to see these levels hold. You know, I would want to see 200 hold. You know, on these higher time frames here, you know, this is pretty much what we had. We had a major ascending channel, and then yeah, once this broke down, this was way more dramatic of a breakdown than what Bitcoin's chart looked like to me, because Bitcoin's top was kind of ebbing and swaying, and then it broke down. Bitcoin never got all of this, you know, two other consecutive, you know, higher highs before it really tanked off. So the fact that Litecoin did that, you know, there's a lot of levels up here that I already have marked. But in general, you know, my thoughts and views on Litecoin, I'll trade it. I won't hold any of it. You know, it's like silver to Bitcoin's gold, which is fine. But in general, I just really don't hold Litecoin. I'm not one of the Litecoiners. Their community is really cringe. So I don't really mess with it that much, but let's take a look at CHR. That's another one that I haven't heard of. Jazz, are you out here trading shit coins? What's your deal, buddy? What are all these coins? What's the friggin' volume on this? Anyway, what is the volume on this coin down here? Uh, 141 million. That's average is 163. Clearly it's lower now because of what's been going on. So in a month it's down 33, in 3 months it's down 20. Year to date it's up 1,000%. 1 year it's up 500. And in the week it's up 37. So yeah, this coin is making some pretty large swings on these moves. This has an entirely different structure from everything else that we're looking at on the daily chart. And in my opinion, it looks a lot stronger than most other coins do. Shitcoins are for quick, small gains. Yes, they absolutely are. And Lucas, I will take a look at RSR next. I want to take care of the guys in the premium group first, get their charts out of the way so that they can get my thoughts and opinions and move on about their day. And then I will take a look at Monero. Gleb, I didn't forget about you. I will take a look at Monero. And then after that, that's probably going to be the last one I do. I want to kind of end the stream at about, 3:15, 3:30 and kind of move on. I've got some things that I need to take care of as well. So what do we got here on the daily chart, right? If we take a look at let's take a look at the entire weekly structure first. Holy crap. So this was during alt season, or during the beginning of alt season, before everything went parabolic. And if you guys are familiar with patterns, you guys know that this was a really nice cup and handle pattern that we had here. Okay. You had your cup, you had your handle, and then it shot off and went full parabolic. It went straight up the week of March 8th. And then it's been slowly tinkering down. I would personally, on a higher time frame, I would want to see this major weekly level get tested here. Actually, let's just draw a box. Okay. On the weekly levels, they're, let's draw a box here. Okay. Those are the levels that I would like to be seeing in terms of a long-term retracement. If this isn't done, let's take a look at the daily chart. We almost hit it. Maybe people front ran this. That's a possibility. Let's turn this on, get this exact here. Yeah, it looks like potentially maybe some people just front ran this and they already saw this, but you can see here on the daily chart way more clearly of how just... I wish there was is there like a way to turn this on and off quicker? There's no, whatever. Again, very nice cup and handle shape here. So where are levels of support and resistance at? We've got an all-time high here. Got a level of resistance here. Got a level of support that we actually just broke through this one. So that's actually slightly bullish on the daily chart. There was another level here, but it obviously already broke through that. This broke above the 200 EMA on the 200 daily moving average. So that's a very positive sign for this coin. That's actually pretty good. So what, are people trading these shit coins more than, you know, anything else right now? Is this like not extremely correlated to Bitcoin? Is that why people are trading this one? Let me know down in the chat or whatever. This didn't even try to form head and shoulders. It just wanted to go up. Like this wasn't even where was the shoulder here? There was no dip down. I mean, maybe we're still going to get that, but if this level of support, in my opinion, with this coin, what I'm looking at right now on this 4-hour chart is you've got a bullish cross on the MACD, on the KMAC, above the threshold. So it's in bullish territory. You broke through the 200 daily moving average, and you're using a major level of resistance right now at about, I guess, 20 cents as support. You don't want to see 20 cents fail on this, is basically what I'm trying to say. 20 cents fails, then I would be targeting lower. I would want to be double tapping, and I'd be looking for entries like here, here, down in here in this major support box. If this major support box broke down, then, it's going to be a shit coin for the next couple years to come. But there is a glimmer of hope for this one. In my opinion, this looks a lot more positive than Bitcoin does. I'll tell you that. At least it broke through a lot of levels. So that's good. Let's see. Okay. So I did, Jazz. I did yours first. Hermes, I did Litecoin. So let's move over into the YouTube chat. And I said I was going to take a look at Monero, and there was a couple else in here. What else did I mention? My heart has high hopes for Algo and Algodex, but my brain is telling me to take profit and look for an exit. Algo has way closer of a price structure related to Bitcoin than anything else. And if you would be, I don't know where you got in from. Like if you got in from down here, then I would hold that straight up. But if you're in like a leveraged position right now from down here or whatever, I would have already had taken profit on that. Probably back here. Like if you got in here on a leveraged position for a long, I would have taken profit up here. I wouldn't have even sat through all this drawdown and funding to get the extra 10%. It's not even worth it. But this price structure in general is a lot more closely related to Bitcoin. If you're in a long position on leverage, I would have already taken profit. If you were accumulating on these dips and your goal is to have it as an investment, then there's no reason to be selling the bag here, in my opinion. That's kind of where I'm at. That was for Gleb, by the way, if he's still here. BZX protocol, that was an answer to my question before. Monero, XMR, that should definitely be on this list. Yes, it is. Holy shit. This channel has been drawn forever. We broke out of it and now we're back sitting in the same channel. So, okay, if this channel is purple, you guys know that I haven't even looked at this chart in a very, very long time because I don't even make my channels purple anymore. In fact, I haven't looked at this chart in so long that I was still on the dark color theme, and all of my support and resistance lines from these ranges are in yellow. What is happening here? So let me go ahead and fix this up real quick. There's a freaking box here that should be like green, but it's not. Holy crap, we tapped that again here. Wow, okay. Wow, so very relevant level that got tapped here. Okay, so see, this is a prime example of why you never take anything off your charts, okay? When you take stuff off your charts, all of this stuff would have been completely useless. I'm assuming that this is now also a level of support as well. This is a box here, okay? Boom, look at that, okay? I haven't touched this chart in months, clearly. kind of ridiculous how those levels are lining up. These are not really relevant anymore. Those are for lower time frames. Let's just stick with this right now. Holy hell, if you had Monero, or if you got into Monero at like $125, holy crap, are you up a lot right now? So this channel that's here, obviously I'll make it, the actual colors that I've been using as of late. Okay, and let's change that median line to dashed black. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. We broke back down into this channel. The fact that this price action this entire time is still respecting this channel that I've had drawn for a year is very, very impressive to me. Monero's been let's get serious here. Monero's been around for a really long time, okay? And it's a fantastic project. It's one of the only true privacy coins that's left in the space. Surrounding all of this stuff with regulation and stuff, I really think that all of the DeFi stuff and Monero is going to be doing big things, okay? The entire thing is sovereignty, privacy, non-disclosure of how many funds you have and where they are. Monero is literally focused around all of those things. So I don't want to see Monero break down out of this channel. If that happens, we're definitely visiting this support box again down here at $125, $130 or so. But for right now, I think that this is actually pretty good. Like if you're holding Monero long term and this is like your jam, then you're in really good shape right now. I mean, this looks extremely strong. Okay. Yeah, sure. We had a really massive pullback. I mean, look at this level on the weekly chart here. Look at how perfect that hit. Okay. Look at that. Look at that weekly level that's getting respected. That is amazing, but TA doesn't work. TA absolutely works. Absolutely. And these levels are being respected over and over and over again throughout this chart. So this overall looks very, very strong to me. The only thing that's kind of concerning here is on the weekly chart. That is like a super death cross on the KMAC indicator. And you did already break down through the Tengen and Kijinsen line. So take it down to a daily and see what that looks like. Oh yeah, awesome. So again, 200 daily moving average, you closed above using it as support. Look how perfectly this 200 daily moving average is getting tapped by these wicks. Okay. Yesterday and today, look at that. Boom. Perfect support right at $242 or whatever it is. So I would be bidding this. If I was going to be holding on to this for a while, I would be probably placing spot bids anywhere from now all the way down to, like $100, $120, to be catching any other further downside on this. But in general, Monero is looking pretty strong here, especially since it's respecting this previous channel that it was already in for a year. No leverage, just failed to take profit earlier. I agree. It's overly correlated with Bitcoin. So maybe rather just hold. Thanks for looking at it. Yeah, no problem. Any take profit levels from Monero that are obvious to you. If you are in a long position right now, my first take profit level would have been this 200 EMA since you dropped so far below it. Again, this is daily time frame here. If you bring it down to a 1 hour, you are battling the 200-hour EMA, okay? Rejecting off of it perfectly. Now, you're sitting above the cloud, which is good. Cloud is green in front of you, but the Chiku span is sitting inside the price action. I would be waiting for some kind of retest of the 50 and the Kijinsen down here at like $250 to be playing any long positions. If you're trying to be holding a long position, I would probably be moving my stop up to like 240-ish. That would probably be a stop. Is like 240, 245 in expectation of further upside. I mean, just take a look at the price action and, look left, right? We had a little area of consolidation here. Okay. See this little zone in here, this little zone. Okay. So that would be a good level to be taking profit at. And then obviously our most recent high is also a previous level of support and resistance as well. So, you've got 330, 300 even, and 280 basically. It's no surprise to me that those are support and resistance levels because those are very psychological numbers. So there you go with that. I will take a look at, if you could check out FET. I will take a look at FET. FET is one that I'm interested in too. Major 4 hours. Wow. Yeah. So you can tell how long it's been since I've updated this chart. See, and this is what I'm saying. Like when I switch to these charts, you guys can tell that I'm not updating these charts and that I'm not trading them because there's nothing on the fucking chart. You know that I'm not trading them. I don't even try to hide it. I already took my profit on my shit. Let's see. Low range here. Okay. Major level of resistance, major level of support, and then you pretty much have, your midline here. Okay. We'll make this dotted because it's kind of in the middle of everything. Okay. We'll make that dotted. Okay. Major range here. Now, bring it up to a daily. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. That actually ended up playing out a long time ago. I don't know. I don't even know when I drew that. When did I drew that? Where's the line? Oh, man. Oh, here it is. It's on the 4 hour. Yeah, so that ended up working out. We hit that first level, retraced, and then we continued to the upside. Holy shit. That's from a while ago. I wonder if anybody that follows me took that trade. Anyway, come back up to a daily chart, seeing where we're at here. Okay. Take it up to a weekly. See, so this is looking really good for FET because there was already a major level of consolidation here before it continued to sell off after it was originally released and listed on the exchanges. So the fact that there's two levels of consolidation in this area, one being here, the other being this little one over here, I think that there's a very good chance that FET would probably find support here in this range. Especially on the weekly chart. Okay. So that is looking really good. I like how much the RSI has corrected here. It looks like the majority of this first drop was just on low volume, and then the bears took hold right here and really drove it deep. But in general, I think that this has good potential to be flipping back bullishly. Again here, no cup and handle on this one, but we had this nice sweeping low. Okay. This is a very, very nice move. When you see consolidation, that's just a giant arc like this, that means that all through this, it's very choppy, but once it breaks out of that and you start testing the previous high way over at the other side, normally that means that once that breaks out, you can be buying these pullbacks and really get a solid rip off of it. That's exactly what happened here. So kudos to everybody that has been playing this. And actually, for the second half of the market run or whatever, got in here and, sold up here during this consolidation. That was a very, very solid move. And I think that might have been... like over 200%. It's ridiculous. Over 300%. It's nuts. Like, this is why bull runs are awesome, man. You can take that, like, think about it, 200%. Let's say you had a $100 5x leverage position. Okay. So it's really only a $500 position. 500 times 200%. You turned your 500 into like $2,500. Or $1,500 or whatever. Like that's ridiculous. Like that kind of a gain off one little trade. It's pretty nuts. FET has been one of my biggest wins. That's awesome, man. Thanks for all the reviews and the stream, bro. Awesome stuff on XMR chart. Definitely hope bumps up in confidence with such finding. Kudos. Thank you. And yeah, if this was your biggest play, like I don't know where you got in at, but if you were accumulating in here with everybody else and you rode this to the top, you made serious money off of this. I mean, you know, you're talking this coin was what, 4 cents, 5 cents, you know, down here at the bottom, it's like less than a penny. So, you know, getting in, you know, under 10 cents or whatever, you know, wow, holy crap, considering it, you know, almost went to $1. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, in general, this looks pretty good as well. Ichimoku Cloud has not broken through the 200 daily moving average. And on the 1 hour chart, it's fighting it. So kind of the same. Now this one has more volume. Okay. And that's why it's kind of fighting here and doing more similar stuff like with Bitcoin. I don't want to see, in terms of Ichimoku Cloud, okay, big green cloud in front, that's really good. You've had a TK cross since way back here. This actually would have been a really sweet long play if you were reaccumulating spot here and holding. This was a really nice time to be doing it, especially once you got the confirmed breakout here. That was a really good time to be doing it too. If you're looking to get in on this, I would be first waiting to see maybe placing a small bid here at the 50 hourly EMA. And then certainly a bit at the Kijinsen. You guys know that that's a really good spot to be bidding. That's right around 30 cents. But in general, I would be a little more hesitant and playing this conservatively because, again, you are below some major levels of resistance. And on the smaller time frames, you are seeing lower highs and higher lows. And you're starting to see this price action kind of constrict a little bit here. Speaking of the 50 EMA, it looks like it just tapped that now. So yeah, that's pretty much where I stand with that. Fat and Lucas, I didn't forget about you. If you're still here, I hope you are. I'm going to do RSR, I promise. Sorry. I forgot that one. My bad. I thought I had it on here. It's not. We'll take a look at the one in USDT. I mean, it's just easier to chart them there. Here we go. Also looking very similar, except this never actually touched the 200 hourly EMA. Same deal though. 50 and the Kijinsen are below, green cloud in front on the hourly. This one is also in bullish territory for the KMAC. That's really good. RSI is stagnant and leveling off. Those are all signs of consolidation. When you get chop on the RSI like this and it doesn't make one nice sweeping move to the upside, when you see shit like this, it's consolidating. So that's kind of where this is as well. That's how most of the altcoins look right now. If we bring it up to a daily, let's bring it up to a daily here. Yeah, it looks very similar. This had a massive run. And honestly, with how much this coin fluctuated, let me take this off. With how much this, what is this random box here? With how much this coin fluctuated, this is a more difficult one to be charting. And the reason why is because, you know, you've got this area that was consolidation that will act as support and resistance. You've got this whole level up here that was, you know, consolidation that will act as support and resistance. You've got this level in here that will, you know, like there's a lot of awkward levels with this coin. Like this price action to me, this is the kind of price action that I don't like trading because it gets you too emotional. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. And in general on the daily chart, yes, the whole trend is up, but this is more reminiscent to me of like what a Forex pairing would do. Okay, this looks like Forex trading here. For a beginner, this is not the kind of coin that I would want to be trading as a beginner. This looks like Forex. And to prove my point, let's go to my Forex list and I will show you real quick. Let's just, you know, look at the Euro AUD, right? Okay, this is on the daily chart, same deal. See this? Down, consolidating, up, fake out, down, consolidate, down, up, fake out, consolidate, down. That's what that token reminds me of, is it reminds me of shit like this with Forex pairings. Okay, most Forex pairings, they do stuff like this. Like, see, the general trend, the general trend here is up, but it's like super fucking choppy, like most of the way up here, and then it got choppy again, and then it continued on its way up. That totally reminds me of this RSR token. So not technically something that I would be interested in trading, but for scalps on lower time frames, you know, why not, right? But yeah, that's what that reminds me of. The price action is very, very similar to Forex pairings and stuff. Let's break it down on a 4-hour chart and really see what we got here. So it looks like this level of support at like, I get, what is this, 2 cents or 20 cents? 2 cents, 2.5 cents. That held very well. You can see here, this was obviously a major level, okay, of support and resistance in here. Boom. These levels always get tapped, guys. This is why you need to be marking these levels on your chart, okay, and keep them there. When you start forming new major levels of support and resistance, if you haven't traded in a while, they give you a real better idea of where you should be entering or where you should be exiting, okay? All of these levels go back a really long time. This one should actually be lower. It's like here. And then obviously there's a top, okay, which is basically here. Okay, those are the levels that we got right now on the 4-hour chart. Now, this is again, I hate reiterating the same thing over and over. It's like a chart alts. 90% of the alts, unless they're like really illiquid, are going to be very, very similar to Bitcoin. So whatever your chart is for Bitcoin, it pretty much carries over to a lot of the other pairings. Or if you're trading Ethereum and the pairings that you trade are paired with Ethereum, obviously it will be more similarly correlated to Ethereum as well. Oh yeah, AgroTrade is great, Pyramid. I use that all the time. It's really, really good. I highly, highly recommend it. Very, very awesome to be using for a global order book. I'm not going to do it right now. Anyway, let's see here. Our chart. This is very flat right now. That's extremely, extremely choppy. And the entire time here. Okay, so this is what I would be looking at here. Okay. When you see this price action, it looks like garbage. In general, the volume is all over the place. Since we had this big run up, the volume has been all over the place. And generally, as of today and yesterday, very, very low. MACD is bullish. RSI is stagnant. But if you look left on the RSI, you can see that on this 1-hour chart, we've had increasing price action, but we've had decreasing RSI. Okay, especially all through here. Made a higher high here in terms of candle closes. Huge divergence compared to, like back here, slight divergence. We dropped. But I mean, that's really like the closest that you can get with these coins because they're so just choppy and moving sideways right now. Same deal here. You're above the 50, you're above the Kijun-sen, big cloud in front of you. This one, however, has also not tested the 200 EMA. So that's pretty much my summary on that. It's 3:30. I will take one more chart. I will do one more. So let me know in the chat what you guys want. I will do one more real quick and then probably call it a day. I've got some stuff I need to do. Got to pick my daughter up from daycare in about an hour. So there's that. Murphski. The good old Murphski. Recently, that's funny. Recently, I've seen a few people say, I'm not trading this chop, it's a waste of time, or some variation of this statement, but I think it's a bad take. One man's meat is another man's poison. Just because you don't see any trades doesn't mean other people aren't nailing it. That is absolutely 100% true. And those of you that are in the premium Telegram group know that when the price is ranging like this, I love trading these swings. This is a 5 minute and 15-minute time frame, but these swings are nice, man, on these 5-minute time frames. And my algo is built specifically for that. I have fun trading in the chop. That's just me, but whatever. It's a new gem coin. Jasper, you and these shit coins, you and me need to have a talk. Yeah, Jazz, we need to have a talk, bro. we need to talk. we need to have a sit down talk about your bags here. What are these coins? It's not even on Binance. It's only on KuCoin. What is this? Oh my goodness. I've never even opened up an account on KuCoin. I refuse to because it's like the shit coin. Like Binance is already a shitcoin casino enough as it is. And then it's even worse on BSC. And then like KuCoin is basically like those of you that have been around, if I mention the name Cryptopia, basically Cryptopia is like the new, KuCoin is the new Cryptopia, basically. It's friggin' terrible. Hater, what the fuck is that? 43 cents. I mean, it's like a worthless coin. What is this nonsense here? I mean, like a small bid for me is like $1,000. And like, that's the reason why I don't trade these coins, is because like if I put $1,000 and 5x leverage that, and this thing comes down like 0.25% or like goes from like 43 cents to like 37 cents, I would get so wrecked on that. Like so incredibly wrecked, because the percentage is so much greater because it's worth so much less than something like Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin goes up 1%, and 1% for Bitcoin is way greater in dollar value than it is for this. So the percentages are just a lot different. It works differently. What is this nonsense here? Straight up descending wedge to me on this. There's no plausible head and shoulders pattern on this low time frame. You're barely holding on in positive territory on the MACD, and there's just so little volume going on in this. I wouldn't touch this coin with a 10-foot pole right now. How long has this coin been around on KuCoin? How long is it? Oh my God, really? It's new as of this year. It's a new gem. It's retraced what is the retracement on this? Jazz, we need to have a talk, bro. What is this? What are you trading this for? It's literally retraced 90%. Like, what is this? Oh God. Another reason why I don't like trading altcoins like this is because of there's just so little history. There's very little levels to be going off of. And it does make it complicated. I know, Jazz, I give you a lot of shit. You're like, you're a good guy, man. We're friends. You're a good guy. I'm not hating on you, I promise. But yeah, we need to have a talk about your altcoin choices. This is some nonsense over here. I mean, all in all, it seems to be in general respecting levels, but I mean, just the What is the volume on this coin? What is happening here? What's the 24-hour volume on this? It's not even telling me. It won't even tell me oh yeah, 2 million. Oh, bro. What the? My disappointment is measurable and my day is ruined. What the hell, dude? 2 million in volume. Average, it only gets it under 5. This isn't even something that I would consider trading. If something has under 100 million in volume, I don't even want to touch it. Like, for real. Even when it's not like volatile like this, like if it just has that low of volume, unless it's like the dead middle of the bear market, all of the retail has been wiped out. Everybody that's watching this YouTube doesn't exist anymore. They got liquidated or whatever. When it's that time, like during 2018, everybody got washed off of the market. The market went sideways for like 7 months and there's nobody around and all of the volume is low. That's when I'll accumulate slowly so I don't crush the order books and buy in small amounts, 500 here, 1,500 here, 500 here, and just like ladder in really slowly. But this is like the middle of the market. Like most of retail has actually surprised me in this bull run and has not gotten wiped out by that 50% drop, which is very impressive. So those of you guys that are new traders this year, like for real, like give yourself a pat on the back. Like that is fucking impressive. If you are still here or you had the smarts to like tether out before the big drop, or you took profits on your altcoins and then you bought them back, really, like you guys are gonna make it. I promise you guys are going to make it. Those are tactics that even some of the more experienced traders like me have a difficult time doing. So if that's the level that you're at and it's like your first time trading volatile crypto markets, you guys are fucking crushing it. But yeah, no, this coin in general, I don't like to trade things that are like under 50 to 100 million in volume. Like look at Link. Okay. Like Link right now in the average volume right now is like really, really low. Okay. Like most of these are really, really low in volume right now. And it's because there's no spot volume coming in the market. It's all derivatives volume. That's why all the volume is so low right now. That's why I'm really, really skeptical about getting into any trades. I think even Bitcoin's volume is like stupid low right now. What's Bitcoin's volume at? Low. It's just low. Does this go by time frame or what? This isn't making sense to me here. How is Bitcoin's volume 75,000? Is that just this candle? How is this measuring this? That's fucking confusing as shit. Not accurate. Okay, thanks TradingView. Not accurate at all on that. Not using that anymore. Just hodl by the dip, although the real dip was a few days ago. I mean, yeah, the dip was a few days ago. But for me personally, I was more concerned with accumulating as much Bitcoin as I possibly could. And then just, trading pairings on that and stuff. So anyway, so that's pretty much the stream, guys. I'm sorry that I was not super like around or whatever earlier today because I had to take care of some stuff. This weekend, it's a holiday. Those of you that are in the US, I wish you guys let me switch to a normal screen here. Okay. The hell is happening? Nope. That's why are you playing music? I didn't tell you to play music. Fuck. Boom. There we go. Sorry. Anyway, those of you guys that are in the United States and those of you in the Telegram group, I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Don't be focusing on the charts. Okay. Don't be just staring at this shit all day long. Go outside, shoot off some fireworks, grill some steaks, some barbecue and stuff. Don't be drinking oat milk and all that other random shit. Eat some freaking good barbecue food. Get out there, hang out with your family. I know that it's supposed to rain this weekend, so that's why we're doing the barbecue thing. Instead, I don't want to take a risk of going to a theme park and paying all that money to, with the hotel and the theme park and stuff and doing all that. And then we're just stuck in a hotel for 2 days and we can't do anything because they close the parks if it rains. So we're just going to be staying home. I urge you guys, do the same thing. If you guys have nicer weather, go outdoors, go grill, go do stuff, go have fun, go be with your family, go pet a dog. I don't fucking know what you guys do. Go hunting or something. That's what I like to do. I'm a redneck and I live down south. If I've got a big bass on my hat, right? Go fishing, go hunting, go do stuff outdoors. Whatever you guys need to do, breathe. The markets will be here when you come back. There's always another trade. Okay. You're never going to nail top or bottom. That's basically what I'm getting at here. Neither do I, even on these scalps, when I'm looking at my algo, that algo is designed to wait for confirmation before I enter a trade. I do that on purpose because if you're not waiting for confirmation, you're probably going to get stopped out of your trade because you jumped the gun too early. You pulled the trigger because you're trading emotionally. Emotion is one of the biggest things to combat in trading. It's very difficult to do. I still have trouble with it myself. Sometimes, yeah, I get mad if an entry doesn't fill and I'll FOMO in and I know that I shouldn't be doing it, but I do it anyway because fuck it, I want to catch the rip. It's a very hard thing to control. And the more that you trade, the better at this that you get as you develop your trading strategy and you go about your journey. Go indicator crazy and all of that stuff. As these are different sections of your journey that you go through, these are all things that you'll learn in time. That there isn't, obviously I can teach you a lot of these things and that the entire purpose, I think somebody just joined. If you joined into the Telegram group because you were in this YouTube video, thanks for that. I'll reach out to you in just a minute here after the stream is done. But yeah, more information on all of that stuff. If you guys would like me as a mentor and you guys want to be trading on the daily and stuff like that, why I'm entering positions and have me there during the day doing all of this stuff with you guys, answering your questions, go to my website down below, check out the links and stuff. You guys can read more about all the services that I do. I just had to make it more of a close-knit community because I can't answer 100, 1,500. I think in the free Telegram group, there's like 1,800 or 1,200 people in there or whatever. I can't answer every single person's question. That's why I disabled comments on there and I took the group private. It's just too much to handle. I'm only one person. I edit all my own videos. I do all of this stuff myself. I'm a one-man show. It is a lot to be doing, 2 or 3 90-second analysis videos a week, a live stream, private content for, the premium members in the Telegram, trading every single day, doing freelance work for other clients that I have, watching my daughter. It's a lot. Okay. It is a lot. And I plan on doing even more. Okay. Even more. I'm not slowing down. I'm going to be upgrading the website tonight. That's one thing that I have to finish. I'm going to be making a members area there so that you guys can sign in. I'm going to be putting all of my blogs over there as well. And I'm going to be coming out with a new blog once a week, probably, after this holiday weekend. I'll do one next week and I'll have a public blog on there. And then I'm also going to start doing the newsletter. I'm designing the newsletter template for my stuff right now. And then that'll be another service that will be available for purchase on the website as well. So again, I hope you guys have wait, what does that say? I'm in communist Cali. At least the weather is nice. Oh, bro, move, man, move. Go to Texas or something, or any other, just go to a, let's not bring politics into it, but in general, the blue states are really fucked up right now. It's not a good idea. Anyway, Cobras, somebody said they have a question. Please ask it before I end the stream so that I can answer you. I know I'm losing viewers on the stream right now. I can see the number ticking down. So please ask the question now before I stop. I did just that. I don't know who P is. I'm assuming P is Pyramid. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to dox him. But yeah, no, somebody just joined the group from the YouTube channel. So if you were silently watching, thank you for that. And I will be with you in just a moment. I'm waiting for this guy, Valutatius. I don't know how to pronounce that handle right there, but he's had a question or whatever. And yes, no politics. Let's not do any of that shit right now. Oh, okay. Here's the question. Last question that I'm going to answer before the end of the stream. I see traders turn on ridiculous many indicators. I think the best indicator is just support and resistance lines. Trade on them and see where the structure has been lost. I don't think that wasn't. Yeah, no, I can't pronounce that. And that wasn't really a question. That's more of a statement. Again, trading, it's all about your personal preference. I like to use patterns as well as support and resistance, as well as especially volume and a couple indicators, RSI, MACD, Ichimoku, to be looking for confluence. That's just my thing. Your thing could be totally different. Maybe you're just using support and resistance and one indicator, like a really decent volume indicator, and then using patterns and classical charting. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong way to trade ever. Okay. It's completely up to you. It is how you feel most comfortable do it. And if what you're doing is making you money, then do that, use it until it doesn't work anymore. It's pretty good. Can you look into Lena and Alpha? I will do that. I might post those charts in the Discord later because I really have to go. So I don't have time to do that right now. But I will try to get with you, SlimFit, and try and do that. For Confluence, yeah. Yeah, so that's literally the only reason why I do that. I don't try to have a million indicators up on the screen. Now, obviously, my trading algorithm, it's an algorithm. It's built with like 5 or 6 different indicators. And this is what gives me, signals on my chart for being able to enter and exit out of scalp positions for swing trades. Yeah, no, support and resistance is massive. That's why when I do these live streams and I look at these coins, you guys see, I always start at the weekly chart. And I always work my way backwards weekly, see what the structure is, mark the weekly support and resistance, go to the daily. What's the daily structure? Mark the daily support and resistance, work my way down to a 4-hour, maybe check out what Ichimoku Cloud is doing and how does the volume look on the intraday, on the intraday 4-hour chart. And then look for confluence from there, make a decision, and then, pinpoint entries on if it's a swing, I pinpoint entries on the 15-minute chart. If it's a long-term hold, I just take entries on the 1-hour chart. And then obviously scalping is like 5 and 15 minute. I never go down to a 1 minute. I never look at anything below a 5 minute chart. And I highly suggest that if you're a newer trader, that you do the same. Do not be going below a 5 minute chart, even 5 minute charts. It's going to screw with your emotions so much because the price is constantly fluctuating because there's so much more information. There's so many more candles. If you're a newer trader and you've got under a year or two experience, I would suggest just sticking with the 1 hour and maybe the 15 minute as the lowest, and using and getting accustomed to doing your charting and your labeling and support and resistance, drawing your channels and all of that stuff, and doing that on higher timeframes because the price action is more clear. Okay. And that's why we look to higher timeframes first, is because first we want a general overall picture of what the entire asset is doing that we're trying to trade, and then work our way down and figure out, okay, where's the support on the lower timeframes? What's the volume looking like? And look for confluence. Everything below the 1 hour is deadly. If you are new, don't even try. That's like 15 minute, absolutely the very lowest that I would go on that. But yeah, no, that's at the end of the day, once you are going through your journey again, like I mentioned before, and you're getting more into creating your own trading system and stuff like that, you're comfortable with a set of indicators that you use and your support and resistance, or however the multitude of different things that there are to trade. And once you're comfortable with those things and it works, and you know that it works, and you've back tested it, and you've got a really solid risk management strategy in place, and you stick with it and you stick with your trading plan, that's when things really start popping off. And I think one of the most important things for newer traders to do, one of the hardest things for newer traders to do, is when they make a trading plan and they've got their risk management strategy and they enter into a trade, they've got their trading plan, they know exactly where they want their stop loss for their invalidation level, they know exactly where they want to enter at based on a lower time frame, they know exactly where their take profits are at higher time frame levels of resistance. They got their whole trading plan set up, but then as soon as they experience the littlest bit of drawdown, they close the position and exit out of the entire trading plan, break the trading plan. As a newer trader, you have to learn discipline. Once you get a strategy in place and a solid risk management plan, when you enter into a trade, the most important thing and the best advice that I can give you is you let that trade play out. Whether it's a winner, whether it's a loser. If you experience, 2 or 3% drawdown or whatever, and your stop is as your invalidation level, don't close the trade before your stop loss hits. What would you do that for? If I would have done that yesterday, all of my trades, I would have lost all of my trades yesterday. All the members that were in the premium group, none of us would have made any money because I would have pussed out and closed my trade out. Don't let the emotion of what's happening with the candlesticks affect you after you're, committed to that trade. Just let it play out. And if it's a loss, figure out why it was a loss, make a mental note of it, improve your strategy, maybe make some adjustments, and then carry on with what you're doing because you know in general that your strategy works. But when you let emotion take hold of you, and like he said, everything below the 1 hour time frame, it starts getting really sketchy for newer traders with emotions now. That's something that you have to really watch out for. But definitely, no matter if you've got a stop, a take profit, an entry, a couple ladders lower or whatever, you know exactly what's going on. You have to let those trades play out. You're either right or you're wrong, but you're never going to know if you're right if you close the trade out after the position went red. I'm down, 150 or 250 bucks. I'm having some drawdown. Fuck it. I'll just take the 250 loss and I'll re-enter lower. By the time you close that trade, cancel all the other orders and then go to re-enter, you're losing money now because chances are you were right in the first place. And now you're buying back into that position higher. And now you've got a lower chance to stay in profit. So always let your trades play out, guys. Always. That's probably like the biggest free alpha tip that I'll give to the public live streams is you got to let those trades play out. Once you dedicate yourself and you are in a position, you have to stay committed to being in that position, whether it's a winner or a loser. So with that, skipping the trade is less expensive than getting a bad entry. Oh yeah, just skipping out on a trade completely and just not taking it. Absolutely. If you skip out on a trade and not take it, hey, Here's the other thing too that I noticed a lot of people have issues with is feeling like everybody has to be in a position. You don't have to be in a position. In fact, one of the best positions to be in the market is not having a position. Trading is about waiting. It's about being patient. It's about waiting for that really good entry on confirmation and then taking advantage of the move. If the move has already happened and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to buy a pullback, your risk to reward ratio is so much lower because you're just hopping into a position just for the sake of hopping into a position, or because someone on crypto Twitter said that they were going to go long. Don't let crypto Twitter and people that are posting charts or whatever, you have to trust your own analysis and you have to trust your own bias. And, that's really a difficult thing to do with, like we're emotional creatures, we're humans. So, we see bearish charts, we see bullish charts, it screws with our emotions, it screws with our bias. And that can be a very dangerous thing for a new trader, because if you don't create your own strategy that you can rely on for yourself, you're always going to be relying on someone else's strategy. And that's not good. And the whole purpose of, the Discord, not the Discord, the Telegram group, is so that I can teach you guys how to do that and help you along your journey and give you this kind of information. So that you're not stuck wondering and you can actually go far and develop your own stuff. But anyway, that's about it for today, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to do another tutorial next week. Doing a tutorial on emotions. I don't know really how I would do a tutorial on that. I can't control other people's emotions or teach you how to do that. So, the whole emotional aspect and stuff like that is kind of a really difficult thing to do for a tutorial, but I'll figure out something. And then I've got to plan a tutorial for the premium members. They get special stuff. Today is going to be the last day that those trading lessons videos on this channel are going to be public. If you guys are still here and you guys want to take a look at those, make sure that you guys check them out, down below or on the left side or whatever. Maybe there's a couple of them there. The trading lesson series is going private at the end of the day today. So get a chance to watch them, whatever, get your fill. Those are going to be for people that are in the Telegram group. And again, make sure that you check out all the links in the description below. You guys can get a free copy of this book here, the Elliott Wave Principle Bible by Frost and Prechter. They basically invented Elliott Wave theory, as well as Elliott Wave International, which is the website that certifies professional Elliott Wave theorists and stuff like that. Also, really other good links down there. What is it called? Light map or something like that, is a really good heat map. There's a link to High Block Capital down there. And obviously, if you guys want to follow along with my trades, once in a while, I'll post a couple public ones. And I think that there's a referral link for the FTX exchange as well that you guys can use and get. I think it's like a permanent 5 or 10% off of your trading fees for the entire time that the account is open, which is really cool. So, I'm just going to call you Value. I can't pronounce that shit, man. Sorry. It's a link down in the description below for the Elliott Wave book. So it should be down in the description below this video. Let me actually make sure that it is. I mean, it should be. Viewer activity, analytics, webcam, manage, edit. Free copy of Elliott Wave Principle. It's down there in the description. So if you click that, it should bring you to a website. Let me check it and make sure that the link isn't dead. Yeah, no, it works. You sign up for an account there and then you can get the book for free. The original copy, just like I have. I mean, you can buy it off of Amazon too, if you really want to. I think it's like 15 or 25 bucks. But anyway, yeah, you go to Elliott Wave International, you make an account there, and then the first thing that they give you is a link to download the PDF copy of the Elliott Wave Principle. So good luck with that. Definitely do your reading. Don't be afraid to highlight and mark stuff. You know what I mean? Go into the edit mode in Adobe PDF and start highlighting shit. But anyway, that's all for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I love all of you guys. Make sure that before you leave, if you're new here, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button down below and comment on this video if this is the type of stuff that you like to see, what I can do better to improve the stream. And with all that said, I hope you and your families have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys back on I guess Monday next week or Tuesday, whatever day is after Memorial Day. So I will be back then. And with all that said, happy trading.